I love to dance, and Michael Jackson's music was one of the reasons I got into dancing in the first place. When Ubisoft announced Michael Jakson The Experience earlier this year at its E3 press conference, I was excited. Who wouldn't love dancing to classics like Smooth Criminal and Billie Jean? But Michael Jakson The Experience on the Nintendo Wii does not do the King of Pop justice. This dance game, if you can call it that, is missing the one thing it really needs: good gameplay. Having original Michael Jackson tracks is a big draw for Michael Jakson The Experience. A fair number of his most famous songs are here, including Beat It, Thriller, Bad, and more. The audio sounds good, though it's disappointing that so many slow songs take up space on this set list. I'm not an official music critic or anything, but I do know that Heal the World doesn't exactly get a party groovin'. In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say that some of these songs are not fun to dance to at all. Slow tracks aside, the visuals in Michael Jakson The Experience are interesting. Real dancers are superimposed on artificial backgrounds that are supposedly based on the original music videos. These backgrounds aren't the most impressive set pieces I've seen. Some look cheap and embarrassing, especially compared to the originals they're designed to emulate. But the dancers are even more problematic. In an effort to hide the fact that Michael is not actually dancing on camera, the color effects on the dancers look incredibly bizarre. You can barely make out their faces. It's distracting, and it gives the characters a ghostly appearance. However, I do want to point out that the dancers themselves are great. My many complaints with Michael Jakson The Experience have very little to do with the men and women that are rocking his legendary dance moves. In Michael Jakson The Experience, players are expected to follow along with the dancers on camera in order to score points. This is where everything goes wrong. The most obvious problem is that the Wii hardware is not meant to track the entire body. You're only using a single Wii remote, which isn't the most accurate motion device around. There's very little point to moving your entire body because the game is only tracking your right hand. Players are, of course, more than welcome to dance around with as much passion as Michael himself, but this doesn't affect your score at all. This discrepancy makes the experience feel hollow compared to games like Dance Central, which read your entire body. Small portraits on the side of the screen guide players through the steps, but these portraits are pretty miserable guides. Not only do they fail to give a clear depiction of the dance moves, but they occasionally just stop scrolling up the screen and leave players without any guidance. Even if the portraits were more helpful, the moves Michael's performing are completely out of control. Take a moment and watch some of these moves from Billie Jean. Do you have any idea how hard it is to do some of this stuff? I will give you a hint. It's hard. There are tutorial videos you can watch where the dancers walk you through some of the steps, but they have to be unlocked by playing the songs you already have trouble following. And these tutorials don't even go through the whole routine. All these issues aside, the real problem at hand is how Michael Jakson The Experience reads your movements. Poorly. During this performance of Smooth Criminal, I sat down and just shook the Wii remote in time with the beat. I obviously didn't do very well, but it wasn't much worse than when I put my all into a performance. The motion controls here just don't do their job, and they don't even register well-performed moves all the time. Michael Jackson's music will live on for generations, if not longer. This game will not. Michael Jakson The Experience is poorly put together, the controls are inaccurate, and the bare-bones setup fails to keep players engaged. If you're looking for the real MJ experience, put on some Michael Jackson music at a party and dance to your heart's content. You'll probably score more points. For more on Michael Jakson The Experience, hit up IGN.com.